man, I'm just so tired after watching that. That was such a difficult game to watch. And I don't really know what I'm going to say in this video. I'm just so down right now. I can't believe it. Just one step away from the final. Let me start off by saying credit to Croatia. That's sometimes what you've got to do in football. You've just got to be a good loser. A good winner, of course. You don't want to be laughing at your opponents, unless they've been particularly bad, and nasty maybe. But especially when you lose and you know that you probably didn't deserve to win on the day, you've just got to admit that. And I think Croatia, they were the better team today. They were playing football. It feels like England weren't playing football towards the end of the game. It really was quite poor. Oh, I don't know. The instant reaction I'm feeling right now is, and I'm sure a lot of people will be sharing this feeling right now, is obviously I'm sad and it's a real shame, but it kind of feels like it was our first real test in this World Cup. It feels like it was the first squad that we've come up against, excluding Belgium, of course, who played their B-side against us in the groups. We played our B-side, so it doesn't really count, but Croatia are a solid team. They've got some great players, like some proper good players. A lot of those players would get into this England team. That says it all, really. And we've crumbled the first time we come up against a really good side. And that's no disrespect to Sweden, Colombia, Tunisia, Panama. You know, okay, Tunisia and Panama, we know they're not great sides. They're in the World Cup because they qualified, and well done to them. But they're no Croatia. They're no Belgium, France, Brazil, the tough nations. And Croatia, I wouldn't even put them up there with Brazil, Germany, Spain, the real great nations. But they are a solid team, and it honestly feels really raw right now. Like, really, the first real challenge, and we just couldn't quite get there. But nonetheless, I'm so proud of this England team. It's a completely different England team to what I'm used to watching. Gareth Southgate, he better stay on as manager. I'd be absolutely gutted if he was sacked or he left, which I doubt would happen. Like, he's been brilliant for us, but it does go to show that the hype that we put behind results when maybe we shouldn't be. Okay, yeah, we smashed Panama, we beat Tunisia, we just about beat Colombia on penalties, we beat Sweden quite convincingly, and we all got hyped. We're like, yeah, it's coming home, and it's not. It's really not. If anything, we're coming home. We've still got another game, of course, the third place playoff against Belgium on Sunday, I believe it is. Who cares? Like, I know, okay, that it has to happen. We want to see who's fourth and who's third, but it just feels kind of like, oh, really, can't we just not? Oh man, I don't think we'll win that game either. I think that Belgium will probably beat us, which is fine. That's still top four. We've done really, really well, and that's what I want people to remember this World Cup for. Not that England got an easy route to the semis and then lost it in their first real challenge. That's how it feels now. But ultimately, there is no easy game in the World Cup. Sweden could have beaten us. Colombia almost beat us. There was many times in this tournament where we had to really fight it out. We had to really, push hard and get those wins and grind results. So there's nothing but admiration coming from a lot of England fans, because that's just not the England we've seen, not since I was born. This golden generation of Beckham, Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, Michael Owen, all of these greats where they flopped at every tournament. You look at those teams that we had, it was unbelievable. On paper, we should have been getting to semi-finals, finals every tournament, but we didn't. This team is different. And it's promising because it's young. It's a young team. There's lots of tenacity in there. There's lots of hunger. There's a few players in this team that, of course, will not be at the next World Cup or Euros, potentially, like Young. He was okay tonight, but you've got to see that maybe, yeah, he's not quite the quality. I don't know. I'm looking for anything at this point to kind of blame. But ultimately, Croatia were better on the day. That's as simple as it is. And I'm probably going to get hate for that, but it's just an honest opinion. Croatia deserved to go through today. They played the better football. I thought, in general, the first half was ours. I thought that England came out really strong. We got the early goal. Trippier, arguably our best player of the tournament, along with Pickford and Maguire and Henderson. Kane, I guess, even though he scored a lot of penalties and a few tap-ins here and there, he was still great for us. But Trippier's free kicks and corners have been absolutely quality. And the way he scored his free kick today, his dad, I'm sure he was in the stadium, must have been so proud of that. I mean, you could see the emotion on Trippier's face when he ran to celebrate. Just an unbelievable moment. And actually, it's a little bit of a funny story. I literally turned the TV on, I grabbed my dinner, got in the front room to sit down and watch it, and I literally, as soon as I put the channel on, he hit the free kick and it went in the back of the net. I missed the first few minutes of the game. Great timing, eh? So yeah, I thought we did really well. The first half we dominated. We did really well. And I should mention, I did actually record a pre-match prediction, but I'm not going to use it because I just want to talk about the game. So basically I said that I think England would win, that we would probably get an early goal and go on to win 2-1. That was my prediction. That's another reason why I don't want to show it, because I got it majorly wrong. But we dominated the first half, and arguably at half-time, we could have been winning by 2 or 3. Kane hit the post. We had some other chances that maybe we could have done better with. But that's football. If you don't put your chances away, you will regret it. And then in the second half, and through extra time, Croatia, man, they really stepped it up, and they deserve to be in the final. I think that Modric and Rebic and Mandzukic, all the itches, absolutely fantastic. Rakitic as well. I mean, you can see the real quality they've got in midfield. It puts our midfield to shame almost, doesn't it? When you've got Modric and Rakitic running things, yeah, it's just a different class, really. They would walk into any side in the world, quite simply. That's why they play at Barca and Madrid. And that's just how they, I think, got on top of us. They really did dominate the play in midfield. They were strong with the ball. They were strong without the ball. They made less defensive errors. It felt like, actually, England were too nervous. I don't know if it was actually nerves or if it was just inexperience at that level, you know, in a game that big. I just feel like there was a lot of lapse in concentration. You know, there was moments, especially with the second goal in extra time, where Croatia made it 2-1. John Stones, I mean, he's been brilliant, and I can't really be mean about him because he's been brilliant. But that moment there was just like, Jesus, John, like, it's the semi-finals. Wake up, bro. You've got to do better. But I just feel bad laying into him a little bit because he's been so good for us. But that moment there, that's what I'm talking about. That's the lapse in concentration. And ultimately, that's what's killed us. You know, that second where the ball is headed, where, okay, maybe we should have won the header and cleared it. I think it was Trippier carrying an injury. Poor guy. He was crying towards the end there. He knew that he'd be out of the final even if they made it, I guess. Definitely if he's done his groin in. But the ball's just been headed back. And John Stones, you can see in the replay, he just like, oh, should I get that? Oh, it's in. You know, it's just, oh, man. It's really disappointing. And I'm so sad that England couldn't get into the final. It would have been absolutely incredible. It really would have. But it is what it is. And this is just experience. And we'll be back. You know, in the Euros, I think we will do just as good. It really depends on who we come up against, of course. But like I've said many times in this tournament, there are no easy games. And beating the likes of Sweden and Colombia, a lot of teams fail to do that and have failed to beat the lesser teams in the past. So we've done well. But we've got to the hurdle where it's the biggest test. It's the hardest night of the World Cup so far. And we've just fallen short. And it's just, oh, it's heartbreaking. It really is. I found it so difficult to watch. You know, at times just hot flushes, feeling sick. Like, it's almost a relief that it's over, if you know what I mean. That's the silver lining of being knocked out so far in the tournament. It's a very small silver lining, but it's like I can watch the final and pretty much just relax and enjoy it. Because if it was bad tonight, imagine how stressed we would have been during the final. And by the way, I think France would have beaten us, and I think they'll beat Croatia. I think France are going to win. So, yeah, that's the World Cup done, for England at least. We could get third place if we beat Belgium, but I don't think we will, unfortunately. I don't know what else to say. Gareth Southgate's been the man, though. Really, really appreciate everything he's done. He's changed the way we feel about the England squad, and that's worth a million things. That really is. Everyone has hated the England national side for so long. As long as I can remember, everyone has really found it difficult to get behind the national team, but this tournament was different. I predicted us to go out in the round of 16. I thought we'd get against Colombia, which we ended up doing, and I predicted that we would lose. And I feel bad about that because pre-tournament, I didn't have faith in this team. And I'm so glad I was wrong. I've got faith in this team. They're going to gain another 4 years of top-level experience, these players. 2 years until the Euros. They'll get loads of experience then. But the next World Cup, I think we can go for it. Although it's going to be very difficult temperature-wise, which we're not going to be great at. Maybe 26. But that's going to be the end of this review, guys. Just one more to go. We're going to review the final. Maybe I'll do the third place playoff game. But at this point, the way I'm feeling right now, it's just one of those stupid games. But why not go for third, eh? That'd be nice. It'd be a nice way to end the tournament. Being the third best at the tournament would be great. So hopefully we can pick off a few goals against Belgium and win that. But my high hopes are slightly redundant at this point, I think. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'm sad it wasn't a good review and that it was me full of energy and just absolutely elated that we've made it. Just wasn't to be. But make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you leave a like as well, guys. And I will see you this weekend for the big one. France are going to do it. I really think so.